in two parts. In the first part, we'll study about oceans, and the second part will complete the continents. So first, let us study a quote given by Jules Verne, 1870. So ocean is everything. It covers almost 70 or 7/10% of the globe. So its breadth is pure and healthy. It is immense and very vast, where man is never lonely, and for he feels life around oceans, and ocean is a reservoir of nature. The globe began with the ocean, so to speak, and who knows if it will not end with it. So this is a poetic understanding of what is the ocean. So here Jules Verne says us that ocean is everything, and it covers 70% of the globe, and it is pure without any contamination, and it is an immense vast, that is, everywhere you look around you will find ocean. So therefore it covers 70% of the globe, and when you look at the globe you will find that it is almost covered with water. In this chapter we will be dealing with two main questions, that is, what are oceans and continents and what are their names, and in what ways do oceans and continents impact the life on Earth. So if we rotate the globe gently or look at the picture of the Earth seen from the moon, what is the most widespread color? Obviously it is blue color. So you have guessed the answer. It is water. Blue in the sense it is water. That means they are oceans. So this means that most of the Earth's surface is actually covered with water. So 70% is covered with water, and almost 3/4, that's 70% in the sense 3/4 part is covered with water. And that is why from the outer space the Earth appears mostly blue in color, because most of the globe is covered with water. And indeed, early astronomers lovingly called the Earth as the blue planet, because when we look at it from the moon, it appears to be blue in color. Next, the largest water bodies we see on the globe are oceans. So what are the large water bodies called? They are called oceans. But in the picture of the Earth, you can see that at least one other color, that is the brown. So 3/4 is covered with water, while 1/4 we can see it to be brown in color. So this color, that is the land, which covers a little over 1/4% of the globe. So a large body of land is called the land mass. So it is very important to note that the large body of the land is called land mass, and a continuous expanse of land is called the continent. So a large body is land mass, while large continuous expanse is called the continent. But oceans and continents both play a very important role in shaping the climate of the Earth. So they both are very essential for maintaining the climate on the Earth. They affect all the aspects of life, including all the plants and animals, and therefore human life too. So we are also dependent on the oceans and continents because we live on the continents, and oceans are also important because that is where we get water for our survival. And we see their impact throughout our history and culture and in our daily lives. So the emblem of the Indian Navy contains the motto Shamno Varuna, which means be auspicious to us, O Varuna. So we are praying the water god, or we can say the rain god in our Indian culture, that is Varuna. So this is an invocation to Varuna, a Vedic deity associated with the oceans, the sky and water in general. Now let us study how water and land are on the Earth. So as it happens, oceans and continents are not equally placed on the northern and the southern hemispheres. So these are the maps of the Earth as shown from the North Pole. This is from the North Pole and this is from the South Pole. You can see how the land and the water is there. So here there are two areas which are consistent or consist of oceans along with their smaller extensions which have various names like the sea, bay and gulf. We have actually noted down these terms in our handwritten notes. Do check the PDF in the end. So the oceans hold most of the water available on the planet, but the sea water is salty and unfit for consumptions. So oceans actually hold a lot of water, but the sea water is actually salty, so we cannot consume that. So most of the land animals will not consume sea water, including we humans cannot drink sea water. On the other hand, the fresh water makes up small proportions. So ocean is present in large proportions while fresh water is present in very small proportions on the planet. So the sources of fresh water are glaciers, rivers, lakes in the atmosphere and underground, that is groundwater. So it is important to understand that if there is an abundance of water on the planet, why is that we talk so much about water scarcity and water crisis? This is because the water is not evenly placed all over the planet, and also the most of the water is salty. That is the first point, and second point is water is not evenly placed, and the third point is it is not easily available to everyone. So maybe the population is elsewhere and the water is available in some other place which is not reachable to the population. So now we'll study in detail about oceans. So we can observe that there are basically 5 oceans: the Pacific, Atlantic, the Indian Ocean, Arctic and the Southern or the Antarctic Ocean. So all the 5 are as follows: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic and the Antarctic Ocean. So here, although we have listed the 5 oceans, it is clear that they are not actually really separate. So there will not be boundaries in between the oceans. They are completely placed together and we make the imaginary boundaries for our understanding purposes. So the lines that divide them on the map are more than imaginary. So the natural world will not follow such boundaries. Sea water, for example, constantly flows across different oceans, sustaining a rich diversity of marine life. Marine in the sense it is related or found in oceans and seas. And many plants and animal species can be found across multiple oceans. The marine flora includes the plants called algae and other kinds of seaweeds. Flora in the sense the plants, while fauna is related to animals. And the marine fauna consists of thousands of species of colorful fish and dolphins. So in the oceans we find both the flora and fauna, that is both plants and animals. And each part of the ocean, from the sunlit surface to the dark depths, have its own diverse life forms. So we have different kinds of diversities in life forms even in the oceans. So in this map we can understand that this is the Pacific, Atlantic, Arctic, Indian and the Antarctic Oceans, and these are the boundaries which divide them. We have an activity provided. So locate the 5 oceans in the table and mark the hemispheres on which they belong to. So the Pacific Ocean is present both in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Atlantic Ocean is here, so it is present in both northern and the southern hemispheres. Indian Ocean is present mostly in the southern hemisphere, but a part is present in the northern hemisphere as well. Southern Ocean is completely present in the southern hemisphere, nothing related to the northern. And Arctic is completely present in the northern and nothing related to the southern hemisphere. It is important to note that the Pacific Ocean is the largest, followed by Atlantic. The Indian Ocean is the third largest, while the Southern Ocean is the fourth and the smallest is the Arctic Ocean. So the largest is the Pacific Ocean and the smallest is the Arctic Ocean. Now we'll speak about the natural calamities. So returning to the picture of the earth at the start of this chapter, you might have noticed the shapes across the globe, that is the large masses of clouds. Such clouds actually bring the rain to the continents, and for instance the monsoon rains that we expect every summer originate in this ocean. So here the winds will come and we expect rains in this area due to the monsoon winds, so it is called monsoon rains. And without such rains our agriculture and our life will not be followed. So oceans often also give rise to storms, violent events with extreme rainfall or very strong winds, such as cyclones, which can cause a widespread damage to the coastal regions of the world. So a tsunami is a natural calamity that originates in the ocean, and it is huge and it is a powerful wave generally caused by strong earthquake or the volcanic eruption at the bottom of the ocean. So when the earthquake will happen at the ocean, then it is called tsunami. Tsunamis can travel thousands of kilometers and submerge coastal areas, causing widespread loss. So we can remember the date, that is 26th of December 2004. India and other 13 countries around the Indian Ocean were struck by a powerful tsunami caused by the earthquake in Indonesia. Earthquake has been caused in Indonesia, but it has gone into the oceans, and these countries, India and 13 other countries, and more than 2 lakh people lost their lives. India, Andaman and Nicobar are also the subsection islands, and the coasts of Tamil Nadu and Kerala were severely affected and suffered much damage. So Tamil Nadu and Kerala are affected due to this tsunami. Such tsunamis are rare, but they cause a lot of losses to property as well as life. Luckily, they can often be identified before they actually hit a coast. So many countries collaborate in such early warning systems, and that is there particularly an Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System, to which many countries including India would contribute, so that we can early identify where tsunamis can actually be starting. And this helps us to take measures to protect lives and property. Events that lead to the loss of the property are handled under the management, and India has its own natural disaster management authority which deals with the different kinds of tsunamis or natural calamities. So with this you have completed part 1, that is oceans, and then next part we will be starting with the continents and wind up this chapter.